So the orange thing is a hood. Now some debate about whether the Norse had hoods, but I say yes, because I think hoods are an essential part of medieval clothing. And especially when it's winter, when it's this cold, although we're in spring now, having a hood can give you a lot of protection. And yeah, it's got a slightly orange colour to it. I don't think it is, it's more of a burgundy, light burgundy red I would describe it as, or maybe a salmon red, but it's a very nice colour and it's wool and it's got a little bit of decoration. And then what I can do with the hood, I can roll it back so it's tighter on my face and my face is more revealed as I deal with my medieval mad hair. So that's what that is, and there's a side view for you, and it's a typical shape hood, and it's there to protect my neck, it's there to stop, you know, the cold from getting in. But I've also got a bonus hood I can wear, is my cloak, because I've got enough material gathered around the back of my cloak. I'll spin around for you. I can actually put the cloak over my head as well and add myself more protection from the elements and the wind and the cold, because let's face it, you know, even in summer you can get pneumonia in the UK, let alone in Scandinavia where we may be living as a Norse warrior. So it's so important that you do have the ability to cover yourself up, and you know, you probably tuck yourself in, maybe have a little bit of a pin and keep it tight to your face. And same with this, you can have it down and have it tight around your face so it's less wind gets in and less of the cold. If you're not fighting, that's ideal. If you're fighting, you want it down. And then the blue thing I'm wearing, as I slightly adjust my camera so you can see it, this is a jacket or a coat. And you've often seen me wear this jacket, but today I'm wearing it reversed with the light blue lining on the outside and the dark blue lining, which you can see up the sleeve on the inside. And again, this is a very big coat. It's probably too big for me, to be fair. I originally bought this coat for Eggle to wear to keep him warm in my garden, and I got it from a Facebook marketplace. It was handmade by a guy. I paid about £60 plus shipping, which I thought was a very good deal. I'm so thankful that I bought it. Did the Norse and the Vikings, as I picked my hat up, wear cloaks and hoods and jackets? Yes, they did, because you got to keep warm. You know, I've got I've got a under tunic, I've got a tunic, I've got a jerkin, a hood and a cloak and my jacket over me, and so that's quite a few layers, but I'm toasty. I could walk around in -5 and I'll still be warm. Yes, my face will get cold and my hands will get cold, but at the same time, because my cloak is, my jacket I mean, is so big, I can put my hands up, or you could do that and put my hands across as well. So it's lots of options, and I really do love this thing, and I sometimes wear it around my house as a dressing gown to keep warm in winter, because it's so cozy and it's so warm. And you know, medieval clothing wasn't dull, and it wasn't all like, you know, Game of Thrones, or it wasn't like, you know, The Last Kingdom or the Vikings TV show. They so get it wrong with the TV shows, because you don't see people dressed like me, do you, in those programs? Because I'm historically correct and accurate with what I'm wearing, because I've got nearly 3 decades worth of experience living and being a Norse Viking warrior. And so yes, but those are what they are. And just to give you a bit of a rundown what else I'm wearing as I adjust the camera, sorry about the unprofessional camera operator. The normal guy is not here, he's on strike. I'm wearing 2 swords, which is so elaborate as a authentic medieval warrior of the Norse times, because most Norse warriors didn't have a sword. I've got 2, which is well over the top. And it's a modern reenactorism, but I've just been filming with them, so it makes sense for me to have them on my boat. And I've also got a good old sax, represents my freedom. And somewhere on the back of my boat, I've got an axe as well, because you never know when you want a spare axe. And I would prefer to carry 2 axes and 1 sword rather than 2 swords and 1 axes, because an axe is so important, and having a spare axe as well, just in case, because you know, axe handles, they do break, and you know, you definitely need to have a spare axe. and those are the sort of things that can be lost very easily on the march. And without an axe, you can't make shelter, you can't do lots of tasks without an axe, you can't do the same tasks with a sword. So this is why having an axe is probably more important than carrying a sword. So I hope that answers your question, and I do love your comments, and this is one of the things I want to try to concentrate on a little bit more in the future, is actually making videos from comments. Now that I can screenshot the comment and make the video to react to it, the most difficult part of that aspect is trying to remember what I've got to say, because I don't have a spare mobile to have the comment in front of me to read off, and I don't like to have a piece of paper in my hand because that looks a little bit unprofessional. But yes, I think that's a lovely comment, and I really enjoyed your comments over these last few months. And all of you guys, we are a Northworthy family. It doesn't matter where you come from in the world, what your faith is, or what you believe in. The two important things to me that you believe in is goodness, the power of goodness, and the power of kindness, because when we practice those things, we get so much more out of life. And being kind and being good is free to the world. They are free things, like hugging. Oh, I'm a very huggy person, and I do love giving and getting hugs, and that is a sign of good friendship. When you can give your friend a hug and they don't think nothing of it, and they give you a hug back when they know you need one. And the other day when I was down the pub and I was talking about what I've been going through in my life over the last few years, at some point I will do a story to tell you what I've been through. You will probably want to meet me and give me a hug, because I've been through a lot. I've had a lot of trauma. I've been through this journey where my life has been in limbo for so many years. But throughout all that time, in the last 9 years of my life being sacrificed to look after my late father, Cyril, I've run this channel. I've done something to make the world a better place, and this is what I hope I have done with this channel, is make the world a better place, and bring the storytelling alive, bring history alive. And I don't have scripts for my videos. I'm not a script person, so these are just thoughts from the top of my head as I think along, and quite luckily I've got the superpower to do that, and I think that's probably because I've made thousands of videos. And at first, when I started filming and doing content, I was quite embarrassed. I was afraid of my voice, I was afraid of what people would think. But no, I totally enjoyed the journey. And let's face it, without going down that route, without my very first video on my other channel where I spoke for the first time, in which I had a troll comment on that very first video from about 12 or 13 years ago, where the guy said, "I've watched you for 1 minute and I hate you already." And that was to a video about a Minecraft update, and I gave him a nice message, well, a warm welcome to the channel, and I used the negativity, turned it into a positivity, and I used that to continue filming and speaking. And actually, when I started listening to my own voice from those videos from my gaming channel and this channel, I realised that I am actually very entertaining and at times very funny. And yes, I do speak fast because I got a super fast brain. I sometimes think that my brain thinks at the speed of light, which is about 960,000 miles an hour, if I'm correct, I may be wrong. So bang, 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 it's going constantly all the time. So when you do see me have a break, it's because I'm run down and I just need to recoup and recover. But luckily, because I've got loads of videos in hand, you often don't see that happen. But yeah, sometimes I will go quiet on the channel because I need to recover and build up energy for the next stage of filming. Because let's face it, there's a lot of work in channels like this, and we've only really just begun the journey, and there's a hell of a journey in front of us. And I think, and I'll promise you this, we will get to 100,000 subs, and I think we will get to 1 million subscribers on this channel, because sooner or later, we're going to blow up. Sooner or later, YouTube will push us out. One video will go massively viral, and that will change the channel forever. And it would be great to make an income out of YouTube, because I spent thousands of hours, tens of thousands of hours working on the channel, day after day, week after week, year after year, grinding away. At times it's made me ill. At times I have been on the top of the world because of the joy it has brought to me but not just to me, to you guys as well. So until we meet again, it's a goodbye from Braggy, as I let you see a little bit of my wonderful, lovely, beautiful garden. Hail the gods, hail Odin, and hail Thor.
Whoa!